and welcome back to another video. It is a new year. Happy New Year. I wanted to start off by just apologizing. I kind of went on a little hiatus for about a month, which I wasn't originally planning to do, but holiday season and Christmas, I got very caught up in making like Christmas gifts and stuff for people and ended up just taking up my entire month. And I just kind of wanted to I ended up realizing too, I kind of just wanted to take a break anyway because I hadn't taken one in a very long time. And so I'm actually happy I did that and I was able to just chill out and spend time with my family and stuff. So, and then I also got sick, so that wasn't fun. So that wasn't good either. So yeah, that it all just kind of happened. But actually, I made this page and I drew all this before, I think, December. I think I did this in November. So yeah, this I actually did a little while ago. But yeah, this is my follow-up as I usually do to my old sketchbook, which if anyone's curious, I have a whole series on my channel where I'm going through all my old sketchbooks, and then after that I usually pick out some art in that and then I redraw it because it's I love doing that. It's my favorite thing to do. So that is what I'm doing now here. And originally I was gonna fully color all these, which is what I usually do whenever I do these redraw videos. I usually do full colored stuff, but I kind of ended up just getting caught up, I guess, in the inking, and I was having a lot of fun with this big pen that I'm using right now, which I really recommend actually using big pens for sketching and stuff because they're actually really great and nice. I think especially on the Elo sketchbook, which is what I'm using, because the paper is very, very smooth and it just glides really nicely. And again, I was gonna do it originally only with just a couple of these, and I was just gonna do this one, but then I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm really having a lot of fun with this, and I wanted to do something a little different than usual. So with all these, I ended up just doing more just pen illustrations, I guess, and playing around with pen. And yeah, so this entire page, and then I ended up adding some color into with some highlighters that I recently got. Um, and I haven't used them very much. And yeah, these are just very cheap. You can tell they're very streaky. They're not super art heavy. They're not meant for professional art or anything. These are the Artist Loft dual tip mild color highlighter markers. That's what they're called. And I really like the colors. And again, yeah, I just wanted to play with them a little bit. So that's why I decided to do instead. Because yeah, again, I was also just I love doing my marker stuff, and it's probably my go-to medium out of all my art because it's the most fun, I think. But I really want to try to, I think I just want to do something different, to be honest. And also it's not as time consuming too, which was good. And also I feel like I learned a lot whenever I was playing around with the pen. I ended up I wanted to make all of the shading type, which I didn't do any crazy shading on any of these. I did a little bit, but all the hatching, which I don't even know if it would be considered cross hatching because I'm not I don't know, I don't even know what you call it, but it's a style of hatching that I've seen other people do, where everything is all just straight down lines. There's no cross hatching or anything like that. It's all just very one. I don't know, and I just really like how that looks. The very uniform lines, but it's also not perfect. I'm not going in with a ruler or anything like that. And yeah, I just wanted to keep the colors kind of minimum too on a lot of these. So there's just pops of color. It's not crazy, shading or anything like that. And yeah, and again too, you can see how this isn't perfectly colored because it's very streaky and stuff. But I don't know, I just I like how it looked, and I really and I ended up also sticking with a very simple color palette with all these, and I ended up just using a couple of colors. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this first one turned out. I think I was originally gonna make it, originally I was gonna do the entire body with his hands and everything, but I got lazy and I also was running out of room, so I changed my mind. And yeah, I like how that one turned out. It's not my favorite, I would say, of all these. I feel like his face was a little wonky, but yeah, I still had a good time making that one. This next one that I'm working on was actually quite a big departure from the original one that I did. I didn't follow this one fully. I kind of played around a little bit with the way it's facing and everything like that. But and also just the way the character looks too, I kind of completely changed. This is actually a redraw of my OC. Jamie, which was a character that I drew a lot when I was younger. I don't really draw him anymore, but he was like one of my main OCs, and I like fully, completely redesigned him. Like he does not look anything like the original design because I just didn't like the original design very much anymore. It kind of, I didn't like it at all. And actually, I was kind of hesitating on doing this one because I actually have an idea in my mind where I really want to like redesign all of my original OCs that I used to draw all the time. Which I mean, I have since kind of done like mini like I've like redrawn some of them and kind of changed things, but I really want to do like a full video dedicated to that with like all my OCs that I used to draw. And so yeah, and I kind of want to like change outfits and maybe even some of their personality traits. Like I really want to do a full like video on that. Maybe even like it might even be like 2 parts or something. So yeah, eventually I want to do that. So that's why I kind of have been hesitating to like draw the OCs in my sketchbook because I want to like spend the time to like redesign them. So this one I already kind of started, which I actually really like how this one turned out, like a lot. It might be one of my favorites in the page. Like I just really like how it looks. And so yeah, I don't know, maybe his design will end up looking like this also in the future. I don't know. I might play around a little bit more because I wasn't like I was just kind of messing around and drawing whatever I wanted to at the time. So again, this may change. His design may change more, but I probably will be like playing around with this more. And I really love like the hair in this one. I gave him like a mullet kind of thing, and I actually really like it. And I really like how like the hair turned out and like the shading on the hair. Because again, I was doing that technically, I said before, with all of the designs on this, page in the spread or whatever. And I found too, I really wanted to try to make it so that even though like because I'm doing the straight lines, I feel like I can kind of make it look like his hair isn't curly like I wanted it to. So I ended up outlining like the curls and stuff on the outside like really prominently so that you can still see that he has the curl, but it's just shaded on the inside like that. I don't know. I really like how it looks a lot. And yeah, it was like really satisfying also to color all these and like do them, and the black and white and stuff was really fun. I also really like doing his eyes and like the makeup around his eyes and stuff, and like, well, I don't know if it's makeup or if it's like eye bags. I feel like it's like, no, I think it is supposed to be eyeliner that I was including. I don't know, could be both. But yeah, I was like really getting into this and having a lot of fun. I feel like too, I've noticed the more I've drawn, like I've kind of noticed a little like, I feel like every person does this without maybe even realizing it, especially once you start to develop your own style, where like you find little things that you realize that you like include in everything that you draw. I don't know if that makes sense. Like little quirks and stuff you may find. Like I've noticed more and more the more I do like my own little like character designs or whatever. I always, or even if I'm doing like fan art, I've kind of noticed I start doing this where like I'll make like the hair, because I'm kind of more prone to drawing more curly hair because I just like the texture of curly hair, and I always end up making it very like loopy and like the very very distinct like little curl and twirls and stuff in here. I always end up including. It's kind of Tim Burton, I think, inspired, and like I've seen other artists do this too and stuff. But yeah, you can tell the difference on this one. It's big. I like completely changed her look because I hated his hair on that original one. I also found another page where I like dedicated an entire page to the color orange. I think because I was following like one of those art prompt things where like every day you had a different prompt to draw something and it was like something orange or something. And so I ended up just drawing all people because that's what I always do. And I drew like these. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be like a couple in the original one or if they were like siblings, but I think I decided on this one that I wanted them to be like siblings. I think that was that was the plan. I forget. It's been so long since I drew these things. Um, and so I ended up also completely changing like the style and everything, and I completely also changed these characters' designs because I was just kind of wanting to have fun instead of just copying what I did before. And I kind of changed up the poses a little bit, which I feel like don't make sense. It's really hard to draw people like together in a pose, or like drawing a group of people is like really hard to like draw them interacting with each other. Even though these two aren't even really interacting and we're just like standing next to each other. But yeah, I completely restyled them, completely changed the character designs, and kind of just wanted to draw what I was feeling. And I was getting very like, I wanted to kind of do in 70s, 60s. I guess this is more 60s, I think. Inspired look. And so yeah, I really had a lot of fun with these outfits and designing them. And those boots and shoes too. I'm really not good at drawing feet or shoes. I don't do it very often. I feel like you can tell because they kind of look wonky all the time, but that was like really satisfying. And I remember just I feel like I was really getting like comfortable with this with these art supplies too at this point, especially with this pen, and I really like was finding my groove, if that makes sense. That was kind of cringe, but whatever. I don't know, I just started really feeling comfortable with it. um and I really wanted to take my time with like, because I wanted to have like good like line widths and stuff. So because I feel like whenever I usually am inking things, especially if I'm using like a micron pen, which I gotta be honest, I think I prefer the big pens to micron pens. I don't know why. I feel like with microns, even though they're higher quality, I think, um, than like big pens, because big pens aren't really meant to be for like. I don't think they're really meant to be for sketching. I feel like they're more like office supplies. But like, I feel like you can just get so. I feel like I've said this before, but I feel like you just get so much more control with the big pens than you can with microns. Microns, I feel like, are just so much harder to control. And so whenever I outline things with the microns, I usually go with the more messy outline, and then I go in with like a brush pen, which is also kind of hard to control, so it ends up just looking a little bit messier. Where with this pen, I don't know, something about it just feels like sturdier. I feel like that doesn't make sense. I don't know, the way that it like interacts with the paper, it's easier to control. And so I feel like I get cleaner lines, so I end up going with a little bit more of a clean line look. Um, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has this too. I'd love to hear what people have to say about that, or if you have any recommendations for better quality pens. I would love to know. Because I'm not like microns. I'm just kind of have really kind of outgrown. I'm getting kind of tired of them, so I might have to look for. Or I could just stick with the problem with big pens is I do think they bleed. Yeah, they do bleed, which is a problem if I'm trying to do like if I don't want that. Which sometimes I actually like that, especially if I'm using like colored ones. Like I actually really like whenever I'm using like pink ones, for example, and if you put like Copic markers down over them, they'll bleed, and I actually like how that looks. But I know that's not like for everyone, and sometimes like I know if I were to go in with like a black micron though, that'd be a problem. Or not micron, big. Sorry, I'm getting them all mixed up. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I did kind of end up falling into a problem with this one where I realized that her hair makes no sense with the way it's interacting with him, because I ended up giving her like a very big hairstyle, and it technically should be completely covering his face, so I kind of just had it where his head's like mushing it a little bit because I didn't know else. And then this is the only area where I did kind of do a little bit of cross hatching because I wanted it to have a little bit more of a distinction to everything else around it. Um, but yeah, again, I had so much fun coloring this one specifically. I love like the way that their like outfits turned out, and like the folds and the faces turned out on this one. It was very fun. I had a good time. And again, yeah, I feel like this was just a good lesson to like the way I feel like with pen especially, I always have to kind of like get used to it because I don't know. I feel like I kind of struggle with pens. I don't know. I feel like again cuz like you have to kind of be patient, and I'm kind of a lazy and impatient artist, which is kind of a problem because a lot of art is about patience and kind of having to, let the process and having to work with the process of art, because a lot of art is ugly before it's pretty. Um, at least that's what I've kind of found, especially when it comes to painting and stuff, which is why with painting I struggle a lot because I get kind of impatient. And yeah, originally I was gonna fully color in her boots, but I decided that I kind of just wanted to leave them because I wanted to try to leave some white space so everything wasn't just fully colored in, especially because I wanted to color his pants, and I didn't want everything to just be like orange on orange, which I guess it kind of is though anyway, because now that I'm looking at this, I did color that in more than I thought I did, so I don't know. I really like again though how his pants turned out. Oh, I love those like bell bottoms. That was like so fun to draw, and like the folds and stuff were like very fun. So yeah, this one definitely took me a while to work on, but I'm really happy with the final product in the end. And I think I improved quite a bit. So this one is another piece of fan art I did from Narnia. which is kind of weird because I was never like a big Narnia like fan. Like I think I only watched those movies like once or twice maybe when I was younger, and I haven't seen them since, which I actually do kind of want to rewatch them. And I think I read like a little bit of one of the first book. Um, but like that's all the knowledge I have of Narnia, so it's kind of weird that I did fan art of this character. But I actually really, that's kind of the reasons why I want to draw this up, because I love his design and I think he's really cute. And I was actually like, I had so much fun coloring this. And again, I just really like his look. Um, and I had so much fun. Yeah, I had so much fun drawing this one. I really love like his nose, and his ears and his little like soft eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun coloring this one, and it was like really satisfying to work on. Um, I did find too something. Oh yeah, I was like struggling too with like I have a hard time with like drawing bangs with curly hair because it's like so like all over the place. It's hard to like, I don't know. I figured it out though. I figured it out. I like how it turned out in the end too. Um, but something I've been struggling with recently, I found, is like just this sketchbook in general. I really like the yellow sketchbook. There definitely is limitations with it because like you can't really do watercolor in it. I mean, I guess you could paint in it. I haven't actually painted in it before. I probably could. It would probably buckle the paper a little bit. But I don't know. I guess I just kind of want to do more watercolor stuff, and I haven't been. So yeah. Anyway, something though I have been missing, because I've been working on the sketchbook now for like over a year, I think. No, I think I started the sketchbook in like 2024 actually. So it's been like 2 years, which is crazy. But I've kind of stopped like, I don't know. I don't like try to rush through my sketchbooks anymore because I don't really think there's a point. And I'm also running out of space in my room to put all my sketchbooks in. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take my time. But I think the next sketchbook I'm going to get is going to be a bigger one because this one is just so, it's too small. And I used to always think I preferred like smaller sketchbooks, but the one I had before this one was bigger. And I feel like I've been finding myself really missing it because I feel like I've really been like, you cannot do a whole bunch of like really big full body things in this one because, I mean, you can, but you have to just make it really small. And so I've been really missing like that aspects of it, and I think it's been really limiting me actually because like my anatomy has been not great recently. um and I feel like that's part of it because like it's really hard for me to be able to draw like full body in this book without, like, I have to make everything like small if I want to. And also it's just like you can't fit as much onto the pages either, and so I really do think I might try for my next one to get a bigger book. Or maybe I'll even try to get a bigger ELO sketchbook. I don't know yet, but yeah, that's like kind of a rant I just had. But like, it's really been bothering me recently. I'm getting closer to finishing this book. I still have quite a bit of pages left. So hopefully a new sketchbook tour soon. But yeah, I really though have been like missing being able to like have a lot of space to draw because again, it's been kind of limiting me a little bit. And so yeah, I really am looking forward to that, to like using something new. And I also want to be, I think my next video that I'm going to do is going to be a New Year's like goal video. And I'm probably going to try to reflect too on this past year and the stuff I did. So yeah, I also, because I have a lot of like, I have a couple goals that I really want to try to actually do because I feel like I did not follow my goals this past year. So yeah. And again, yeah, so I was just, shading this one, and again, it was so satisfying. Again, this one too, I was also like really reaching like flow state. And I was like really just like, yes, 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 this is so fun. And I was just, yeah, having a good time. I really recommend people try this, by the way, with like the shading. It's like really satisfying to me. And I recommend, yeah, big pens, basically. This is just me endorsing big pens. I was really debating too on whether or not I wanted to color his eyes fully. So I ended up actually giving him pupils because I wanted to like, because he has lighter eyes, but I also didn't want to give him like the super small pupils because I feel like that makes people look a little more intense than like the bigger pupils. And he has very like soft eyes. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing in the end. And yeah, I'm really also happy with this one. I think it turned out really cute. And I had a lot of fun coloring in his freckles and everything also. that was great. And yeah. This one was also on that page where it was like the follow the orange, draw something orange prompt page, which again, I didn't actually draw something orange, I just drew a person with like red hair. um, but this one also I ended up, I feel like at the time I was like really proud of this one originally, and then looking back on it, I was like, ooh, the face is scary. The eyes are like ginormous in this drawing, and I don't like it. And so I actually ended up changing quite a bit of this one too, because in the original one, the character's kind of facing a different way, and they have like, instead of like the long braids, they have like really long bangs in the front. It's weird. I don't know what I was thinking. And I also ended up not making this because I actually do quite like they're wearing like a coat in the original one, and I kind of like the pose, but I ended up also changing that. I didn't draw that much space because I wanted to focus more on the face. And so, see, this is another example why I miss a bigger sketchbook, because I would be able to fit more stuff in, but I can't. And it's frustrating. I need a bigger sketchbook. I'm gonna get a bigger one. It also just sucks though with bigger sketchbooks because like they take up more space, and it's also harder to film videos because they're so freaking big, especially like sketchbook tours. So I don't know. I usually zoom in though on my videos anyway, so I don't feel like it matters that much. Anyway though, I ended up changing though her hair to like the very long braids, and it like kind of going out in the wind behind her, which I actually really like, and I like how it looks like with the composition and everything of the page. I don't know how to draw braids. Every time I try to, I haven't like I need to like just sit down and study how to draw them. So I was kind of just winging it right here, and hoping for like a braid shaped look, which I think I kind of tricked the eye into thinking that's what that is. I was just messing around, and this was also really fun actually to do. And so yeah, I was just winging it right here basically, and hoping that those look braids enough. I feel like they're like, I'm now looking at this, I'm realizing that I feel like they're way too thin. I feel like they should be thicker. Um, I don't know, maybe she just has very thin hair. I don't know. I like the way that they're like floating in the wind though too. And yeah, this one too, I had so much fun. Again, I was like really just like getting into this art supplies and really getting comfortable with it. And so each time I feel like I just felt more and more confident as I went along. Whereas whenever I started on that first one, I think I was definitely not as confident. And honestly, again, I feel like that also just speaks to like, I feel like the best way to learn supplies is just doing it over and over again. Similar with like how like learning how to draw, you kind of just have to do it a lot, and then you eventually kind of start to get comfortable, I think, with it. And that's what I really found on this page, like doing a whole spread of that really helped me, I think, in the end. And yeah, I think I was trying to debate too if I wanted to have her hat be red or her hair, but I ended up making her hair red because I thought it would be a little bit more, I don't know, makes it stand out. And I feel like with most of the other ones, I ended up just fully coloring in their hair. And so with the black, so I wanted to like make this one look different compared to the rest of them. And I'm really happy with how that choice. I'm happy with that. I really like too the way that I cropped this drawing with like the hatching. I ended up kind of following like a pattern all across, and that was really fun to do also. And then also with like the braids and stuff, I ended up going in with the highlighter, and I wanted to add little like flyaways and stuff because I love adding flyaways in here. It's my favorite thing to do. I love it. It's satisfying, and I feel like it makes everything look a little bit more natural because no one has like super no one's hair is like perfectly in place. At least mine isn't. My hair's a mess all the time. So yeah, I wanted to include that too. And I also ended up giving her like really big I wanted to also though include, because like the original one, her eyes were like scary big, but I wanted to include the big eyes, so I gave her like very round big eyes. And yeah, I'm really proud of this one also. I really like how this page turned out actually in the end. Sometimes I don't like how my pages look whenever they're not super like, fully colored in, but this is a sketchbook and it's supposed to be for experimenting and having fun. And I had a lot of fun on this one. More so I think than if I did like a fully colored illustration. So yeah, with all these, I'm really proud of myself. I feel like I've improved quite a bit. And yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Um, as I said before, I hope that everyone is having a good new year. And, you know, take it easy. I feel like there's a lot of pressure in the new year's to, like, you know, to have all these goals and to start anew. But, you know, I feel like it's also important to, you know, take care of yourself. And yeah, I hope everyone is having a good time. And thank you again so much if you're still here for watching this video. And let me know if you guys like to redraw old art also. And if you have, do you think you've improved? And yeah, so thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.